Okay, welcome back. Josh, the driving instructor here. Today we are doing a mock test with the lovely Gemma. Would you like to say hello, Gem?
Hi.
Hey. So Gem's got her driving test coming up, but nobody knows when the driving test is, do they? And we are going to keep it that way, so don't ask any questions. But if you'd like to show some support, please get some comments below for Gemma. So first of all, in the driving test, you will be asked a tell me question, Gemma. So can you tell me how you'd know if there's a problem with the ABS braking system?
The light would come on the dash and it would stay on.
Good. There would be a light on the dash and it would stay on. You're absolutely right. You would also be asked to read a number plate. You'd be asked to get out and do this, but as we've got the perfect car right there, we're going to read that number plate. So can you read that one for me?
DF13CCD.
CCD, beautiful, fantastic. So your eyesight's fine. We've done the eyesight test. We've done the tell me question. You're absolutely fine. It's a good answer with that. So we're all set to go. So today we're going to do a sort of signpost test. Are you happy with that?
Yes.
Rather than the satnav navigation, I'll keep it a bit more interactive. I am going to keep my mouth shut and I won't be providing any help. Are you happy with that?
Yes.
Obviously, as normal, there is no minors or serious faults for directions. So if you need to confirm directions, you can ask directions. If you go the wrong way, absolutely fine. Do not stress it, as long as it's done safely. Happy?
Yes.
Okay, when you're ready, let's go. So at this point, you would actually be leaving the Newcastle Under Lyme driving test centre. From the test centre, you can actually either turn left or you can turn right, which will take you onto a dual carriageway where you can turn left only. We're very close to the test centre, we're just around the corner. So we are going to turn right, which is very similar to the test centre, which will take us onto the dual carriageway. The test route that we are actually going to do today is normally satnav only. It's not normally follow signs. So Gemma's actually getting a bit more of a challenge than she signed up for. So let's see how she gets on. As always, if you think I missed anything during the test, or you think I've been unfair or too fair, get it in the comments. Let's hear your opinions. What are your thoughts? Because an examiner would obviously be sitting here with the iPad and they'd be tapping away on the iPad, and you've got to try and not pay attention to them at all. You've really got to focus on your driving test, looking ahead. So yeah, same situation. Someone did actually fail the other day. A friend of mine's student did actually fail because the examiner thought they were looking at the gears too much, and they weren't. They were actually looking at the examiner to see what they were trying to type on the iPad. So try your best to avoid looking at the examiner's iPad, because they'll think you're looking at the gears and then they'll fail you. So this is the end of the A34. 9 times out of 10 there will be cars parked in the left lane. So once you get to around this point, you're going to want to start thinking about merging into the right lane using your MSM routine and checking your blind spot. Really good mirror checks here and a nice signal and a perfect merge into the left lane, checking the blind spot as well. So really well done there, Gemma. Some horrible roadworks down here. It's making it very difficult with, well, teaching people to drive in town, to be honest, because you've got to leave an extra 10 minutes to do anything.
Tell you when go. business.
You left it in second gear here, Gemma, and this is why I keep looking at the gear stick, because I'm waiting to see if you end up stalling or not. But well done, you had really good clutch control, so you didn't stall, so that's brilliant. Down as aggressive driving. To be honest, I wouldn't be very comfortable.
No, I can imagine.
I wouldn't be very comfortable with someone I've never met, swearing and shouting at people, you know?
I don't shout, I can be...
Get a bit frisky.
Very colourful with the names.
Colourful, okay.
There seems to be no filter.
No.
So I am really trying right now, so if I do slip up, I apologise.
I don't mind. I don't personally mind. Okay, so the roundabout, we're taking the third exit straight on.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's fine. See what's coming, whether a block is coming.
No, but actually they're designed to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like then you should have. Yeah. So you can't see it because I haven't got the rotating camera, but we did have a little bit of hesitation here. So it's just a minor there for hesitating on the roundabout. Nicely done. So with those roundabouts, we're quite busy, aren't they?
Yeah.
So if they were flat and you could see across, what would you always see on the other side of the roundabout?
The other cars.
You'd always see other cars, absolutely. And what would that make you want to go if you could see the other cars? Would you be thinking this is a safe opportunity to go?
I'd be iffy. I'd be even more iffy than I was
You'd be,
then.
absolutely, you'd be more iffy. You'd also have a clearer view, which means you could approach the roundabout far quicker, which would be more dangerous.
Yeah.
So instead, they on purposely build the roundabouts up so you can only see your quarter, which means if a car's not there when you get there, approaching at a reasonable speed, then it's safe to go. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's why. So yeah, absolutely.
I just feel it makes it harder to anticipate, because you can see where people are going through the positioning and stuff, and sometimes when you can't, you second guess yourself.
Yes, yeah. Roundabout, we're taking the first exit left. It is very easy to do, you know, and roundabouts can be difficult, they can be tricky. Yeah, I completely agree. And you've just got to keep practicing, practice. So we're going to take the next road on the right. It is just coming up here. Right here. Yeah. No, but absolutely, you know, and it's also about understanding, and you know, we've talked about them now, so I hope that helps and gives you a bit more clarity as to why they've done it. And then, well, actually, if they've done that on purpose, then if there's no car there, it must be safe to go.
I suppose it's just another confidence thing.
Absolutely.
I've got to work on and build up.
Take time. Take time and practice. Why? Learning to drive takes so many hours of practice. End of the road, we're going to turn left. Sorry, right, apologies. I deserve a mile for that one. So I thought I'd let that bit just play out so we can see the full thing, and then we'd have a look at it in a bit more slow motion. So we've got ourselves into a bit of a pickle here. First of all, you stalled because you're in the wrong gear at the junction, which is fine. It's that in itself isn't the end of the world. But I don't know, you sort of paused after you stalled and just started letting the car roll back into the junction, which was sensible. But you didn't look behind you at all. So I didn't know if a car was behind us or not. You then really took your time, which is great, but we're still poking out in the road and we've got a car on the left coming up, which we can't see again because the one day I didn't bring the twisted camera. And we're sitting at this junction blocking the road for quite a while. So whether or not you pass this test because of this is very touch and go. And I'm saying that because, you know, everyone's different. It's not always black and white. I am letting you pass on this and calling this a minor, but that's not to say that everyone else would.
Don't worry about it, happens. You just got to practice your stalling a bit more as to how to deal with it, yeah? And that's why you stick to a routine with it. Yeah, stick to a routine with it, and then every time you stall, you do the same thing every time. So we're taking the next road on the left. It is coming up. It's before the end of the road. And then when it's safe to do so, can you pull over on the left? There we go.
Thank you.
Well done. It's got lane changer. If you touch it, it'll go on 3 times.
Ah.
So if it does that, just don't worry about it. Okay, excellent. When it's safe to do so, can you drive on? When we get to the crossroads, we're going to follow the road ahead. I think it's just... Can you see down there?
Yeah. So I keep leaning forward.
If you find a safe and convenient spot, can you pull over on the left?
Yeah. A bit busy down here.
It really is a bit busy. Fantastic. When it's safe to do so, can you drive on? when we get to the crossroads, we're going to turn right. When we get to the end of the road, we're going to turn left.
So this is a really horrendous corner because it's a good example as to why cars shouldn't park on the corners of junctions, because you just can't see trying to get out. But what you did here is you decided to go and you didn't finish checking the road that you're turning into, which is already a meeting traffic situation. So you just needed to carry on creeping forward a bit more, and that's why you've got a minor. The road, we're going to turn left. So you said you watch a few mock tests.
Yes.
Do you watch other mock tests, or is it just around Stoke really?
I've watched yours, I've watched Ken Bradley, and I also have watched some of Pins. Is it Pins?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on it, to be fair. I don't know what it is. I do watch them because they're quite informative.
Yeah.
But
do you learn from them?
I find it can be mean. I know that's the whole point of a mock test.
Yeah. But overly mean.
Yeah, because
Third exit towards Stoke.
So quick minor here, we haven't checked the central right mirror as we've gone round this car. I know you haven't had to move much, but if you've got a Just Eat bike or whatever else overtaking you, it's going to be a bad day. Keep an eye on your mirrors.
yeah, you mark somewhere this door or something. I know you have to get used to your car. So if you're not used to a car, you're bound to at some point stall.
Yes. I know what you mean. I can't go with that example just because, for instance, you've never driven my car. If you stall, I've still got to give you minors for stalling. It's just, because it's you got a driving test in a brand new car and you choose to stall, you've chosen to go to a brand new car, It's like getting a brand new car, you've got to still be able to drive your brand new car, and if you're repeatedly stalling, it's not particularly safe. Stalling it once or twice, it's okay, isn't it?
Yeah. Even the best drivers can stall.
Absolutely. When we go, I do. When we go around this roundabout, we're taking the third exit right. Fourth exit, but yeah, apologies. Yeah, onto the A500.
Maybe I'm being a little bit mean here, but I'm giving you a minor here because you've chosen to go into the overtaking lane to come off on the A500 South rather than the left lane that's also going to A500 South, which is the middle lane, which you can see now. if at all possible, always pick the left lane. Otherwise, you're blocking up the overtaking lane, which is going to force cars to undertake.
We're going to come off on the next slip road and we're following the signs for A52 Newcastle. Is that okay? A53 even. So close. So close. It's so far. So yeah, so when we come off the slip road, I want you to stay to the right.
Yeah.
Do you know where we're going, do you?
I think we're going up through Stoke.
Yeah. Following A53 towards Newcastle. Yeah.
I've got to say, if you're watching this because you are planning to take a test in Newcastle Under Lyme, that was a very well-driven part for Basford Roundabout. And if you are watching it for your test, then I suggest you rewind and watch that again, because this can be quite a difficult roundabout for people that have never done it before. Road ahead all the way. How are you feeling?
A lot more calm.
A lot better than you did at the beginning?
A lot better than I did at the beginning.
So remember, that's how you're going to feel on your driving test. First few minutes, pretty rough probably. 5 minutes in, a lot better. You know, you just got to hold it together for that first 5 minutes. Commentate, you know, on yourself, on your driving, in your head if you need to.
Yeah.
And then yes, you'll calm down then. Very similar feeling being on camera as it is.
It's quite nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. Absolutely. Out the traffic lights, we're going to take we're going to turn left basically at the traffic lights. Is that okay?
Yeah. If you're a busy man.
Ah, indeed. Indeed. At the roundabout, following signs for Stoke A52.
Gemma's waited well behind a cycle box here, which is absolutely perfect. If you enter that cycle box on your driving test, when the lights are red, you will automatically fail.
Yeah.
Turning right there.
Yeah.
We'll just be back on dirt road soon. Dirt tracks everywhere.
So again, perhaps I'm being slightly mean here, but you've moved across into the filter lane turning right too early, and you've moved across when it's actually, as you can see there, it's a filter lane for them turning right, not you. Yours is slightly later. Now they're very small boxes, but still you need to be more aware than this. Now luckily you did stop and let him go, but still you're getting a minor for this. Now this is an extremely tight road to be having to drive down, especially when the car's actually parked on the left. Really good choice waiting here, but if you ever do come down a road like this, because there's plenty of them everywhere in the country, just most important thing, go slow, okay? If you can keep a door's width from the left, great. If not, make sure you're 10 miles per hour or less.
Nearly had a moment there, didn't we?
I know, it's going again. I can feel
It's okay.
the jittering inside.
Well, you've got to make sure you commentary drive then. And you get out your head and commentate. What am I doing next? Okay? Commentate everything, looking ahead, commentating in your head exactly what your plan is, how you're dealing with it.
Again, loads of meeting traffic down here. It's really important you're aware as to whether or not, first of all, you can fit down there before you commit to going. And then once you do commit, if you can fit, you've just got to go really slow. You need to make sure that person in the passenger seat feels unbelievably safe.
End of the road, we're going to turn left. Well done. Very nicely done.
Again, we're back on the A34. This is a 40-mile-per-hour road, so keep that in mind, especially with these traffic lights, which do change very quickly. If you are not over that line or going over that line when they go amber, seriously, be ready to put the brake on, otherwise you're going to end up going through red lights.
When we get to the next set of traffic lights, we're turning right.
So really good lane change here, moving into the right lane because we're actually going to turn right, but we get into the right lane and then you signal to get into the right lane, you just leave your signal on the whole way. So you've put your signal on a little bit early here for turning right. Should have gone back off really for a bit, so you got yourself a minor.
Are you finding it's helping you by commentating?
A little bit, yeah. See, I normally do it in my head or whisper it to myself.
Well, either's fine,
but
whatever.
Actually, saying it is a bit better.
Okay.
Plenty of time. Across the kids in that.
I'm going to turn right at the sizzling walk. Turn right into his second exit. Okay. And now reverse bay park. Just to finish it off.
Nearly. My language, nearly.
So you got yourself a cheeky minor because you are having to shunt it when doing your reverse bay park. I don't personally think that's a massive problem. You know, even when you pass your test, sometimes you just have to shunt it, and that's it. That is the end of the test, Gemma.
Oh, shit.
How are you feeling?
Very hot. I feel...
Shaky, clammy?
Yeah.
Well done. Good. I like it. Right, do me a favour. Give the face, give the camera a face of how that stool made you feel. Ready?
There.
I like it. Okay. How do you feel the test went?
I think it could have gone better.
Okay. Did you pass or not? Have you got a reason why? Or is it just because you're nervous and you're just not sure?
I think it's because I'm nervous and I'm not sure.
Okay. So what was the biggest mistake, if you made any? I'm not doing this to be mean. It's important that you recognise...
I recognise.
...what's good and what's not good.
I think me speed around some corners could have been done with being a bit slower, and possibly me meet and greet situations could have been a bit slower.
Cool. Okay, right, well what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you out of your misery. I'm generously saying you passed today, okay, and I'm saying generously because that stall was probably the very touch and go one.
Because I was in the middle of the road.
You were in the middle of the road. You did let the car go back, but that car was stopping and all sorts. He didn't have a clue what was going on. So we weren't back enough in the junction. We took far too long.
Yeah.
He wasn't bothered. It didn't seem too bad to me, so I just put it down as a minor. I don't know if the examiner would have or not, and that's because half of them might have, half of them might not have.
Yeah.
That was a touch and go situation. You've got to practice your stalling, and I'm talking on purposely stall and keep going and do it each time to get that right. Okay guys, going to give some feedback here, but really massive well done to Gemma. Don't forget to write something in the comments, and thank you very much to anyone that has liked and subscribed. See you all soon. Say bye.
Bye.